Good morning, wet shavers and podcast lovers everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put on your earbuds, adjust your speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a little bit of this and a little bit of that in podcast form. Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday Morning Mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next 3MB airs, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat and discuss some things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup, and I hope you subscribe to the podcast where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning. Great to be with you again on this episode of Second Cup. I sure hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I had a cup of coffee right here, and I've got, out of my Keurig machine, Cafe Valet. Have you ever heard of that? Cafe Valet? It's a very good cup of coffee. I'm really enjoying it. This came from Cherry Valley Hotel, the Cherry Valley Hotel in Newark, Ohio. Now, why do I have Cafe Valet from the Cherry Valley Hotel out of Newark, Ohio? Well, my nephew Mike married his fiancée Brittany, and that took place this past weekend. So I was really scrambling to get Monday Morning Mailbag done, and then my trip back, I grabbed a couple of these Keurig pods that were in the room. I didn't use them. I just kind of threw them in my bag and made my way home so I could get back and finish up my cartooning deadline and this podcast. So it airs on time at about 7 a.m. Monday morning. And that's why I have Cafe Valet. And it was really a nice wedding. It took place at the Sand Hollow Winery, just about 20 minutes from the hotel. Very nice outdoor venue. The weather cooperated. Beautiful natural setting. So yeah, it was really, really terrific. Had a great time. And Newark's about a 3-hour drive for me. 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. But I've never been in that part of Ohio, in Newark, and through, what was the other place down there? Belleville. Yeah, I went through Belleville and down to Newark. So yeah, really enjoyed myself. And I also did a wet shave on the road, and I took John From. Yeah, when I got there, it was an evening wedding, so I got there in time to clean up and that sort of thing and have a wonderful shave with John From. Boy, that was perfect for that event. John From, I'm telling you folks, that is an absolutely wonderful scent. It's great for your daily shave, but also for those special evenings out. John From is absolutely perfect. John From, F-R-U-M, from Phoenix Shaving. Absolutely wonderful. And I used my double-edge adjustable safety razor, the Sinmirn, S-N-M-I-R-N. You've seen me review that before. It's a budget adjustable razor, kind of like a Futur clone with a magnetic razor head. That worked very well. I like that, although I did use my King C Gillette. I had that with me to do a little bit of buffing up underneath on the upper lip, up underneath the nostrils, because the Sinmirn, that's how it's pronounced, was a little, that razor head is just a little overly large. So I had a King C Gillette for that. But note to myself, I got to have to remember that down the road if I take that razor on the road again. I also had a couple of new items here that I wanted to take, and they arrived late. The first one was Barber Up, UPP, Barber Up Green Sticks. This is a styptic pencil 3-pack. These are 3 travel size styptic pencils, and they also have these little styptic sticks that are in a matchbook form. And when you open up the matchbook, they look like little matches, but they're styptic sticks. boy, I would have loved to have tried that because I did tag my earlobe. I don't know how that happened because the end tabs of the razor blade are enclosed in that Sinmern razor, and I don't know how I tagged myself, but I did have a styptic pencil with me, and I threw that in the my DOP kit before I left. Would have liked to have taken the Barber Up Green Sticks styptic pencil, the 3-pack, or those little styptic sticks. I think that would have worked well. I also had some of the GBS alum blocks on order. Those arrived late as well. That's a 3-stone pack and a travel case. But I just had another alum block. I threw in a travel case and I took that. All in all, it was a great shave for a great evening event. So yeah, I'll link that stuff below in the description if you're interested in seeing any of it. Also, I used my Vikings Blade Dark Raven shaving brush. Wow, that was wonderful. It's a great travel size. It has some wonderful heft. I love this brush. It's a synthetic brush. It feels exactly like a Badger brush. It is absolutely wonderful, and it did a great job in building a lather with the John Frum in Formula CK6. Absolutely fantastic. I will link that below as well. So all in all, it was a great weekend. A little bit of running around, trying to get deadlines done for not only Monday Morning Mailbag, this podcast, and my comic strip, but hey, it all came together. It was a wonderful wedding, wonderful ceremony. Best wishes to my nephew Michael and his new bride Brittany. And if you're ever in Newark, the Cherry Valley Hotel is a very nice hotel. And that part of the country is very nice. And that Sand Hollow Winery is a very nice winery. I didn't go inside because everything was outside, but it looked like it was a really nice setting for their wedding. All right, just wanted to pass that on to you. Viewer Jimmy V checked in with an email regarding the use of a chafing brush, lathering in one direction clockwise and then reversing direction, say counterclockwise, to limit brush wear. He had some really nice observations, some very insightful observations I wanted to share with you. And he wrote, I don't think brush wear by going in one direction in a bowl is an issue. Reversing the brush won't affect brush wear unless you are holding the brush exactly the same for every shave. Think of the top of the brush as the face of a clock. Unless you have your thumb over the 9 for every shave, you are always presenting a different face of the brush to the bowl. If on your next shave you had your thumb on the 3, it would be the same as reversing the brush. See what I mean? Let me stop there. Yeah, Jimmy, that's a really very good point. Unless you had markings on that handle so you could figure out where to grab it each and every time, you're absolutely correct. He continues, I'm always rotating the brush as I run it around the bowl, but I do reverse direction and it gets the lather that is on the trailing edge of the brush to be whipped up more. I'm not so sure if I rotate it in my hand like that. As a matter of fact, I think I am just whipping up my lather in a bowl in a clockwise fashion. Now, I'm going to have to look at my face lathering on some of my videos to see if I am reversing the brush that way. I'm not conscious of it, so I'm not really sure. He continues here, the other thing that people say that is incorrect is that there is some advantage in turning over the blade on the next shave. There is only one cutting edge, just as a knife has only one cutting edge. Obviously, there are 2 edges on a DE, but they are the left and the right, not the top and the bottom. Yeah, I agree with you there as well, Jimmy. I don't flip my razor blades. I don't. If I'm flipping my razor blade, say on a second shave or a third shave, I'm unaware of it. I just drop the blade in and I have my shave. As a matter of fact, as I've often mentioned, there are some exceptions to this rule, but most razor blades, for me, 2 or 3 shaves and then I'm on to a new blade. For me, they're so inexpensive. This is the way I look at it. They're so inexpensive. Why not treat your face to the best blade possible each and every shave? That's kind of the way I look at it. Oh, he also added this as well. On the brush conversation, I not only change the brush rotation in my hand, but also change the direction I swirl in. I pretty much build lather in a clockwise rotation, but then we'll back the swirl for a few rotations. I figure both changes get any sideline lather back into play. Well, that's a really interesting observation because it sounds like you're not so much concerned about the brush wear. You're more concerned with getting that lather back on the knot to work into the overall lather there. So that's very, very, very good, Jimmy. Thanks so much for your comments. Really, really do appreciate it. Viewer Skylar Damrun sent along information regarding Gillette Baldy. What is Gillette Baldy? This is a razor marketed specifically for doing a head shave. And you can find information at GilletteBaldy.com. Skylar very kindly sent along the link. And he wrote, as a head shaver myself, I just thought this was interesting. I don't think Gillette has ever made a razor specially for head shaving. I think you may be correct on that, Skylar. I don't recall ever seeing anything regarding Gillette marketing a razor specifically targeted at the head shave, doing a head shave. I don't recall that. Now, there are others out there who have more of an understanding and handle on the history of Gillette and their razors. If they have ever marketed a razor specifically for head shaving, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag.com. I'd really be interested in knowing that little bit of vintage Gillette history, if that in fact took place. But anyhow, he sent along the link, and they have a little bit of a wordplay here on their page. They say, why shaving your head can be a game changer. Now, here's a little bit of a wordplay. Baldy go where lots of men have gone before. Get it? Baldy, boldly. Balding is way more common than you might think. In fact, 66% of men show signs of balding by age of 35. Well, I lost mine a lot earlier than that. Making the decision to shave your head can be a game changer. You can make the choice to take back control of your life, your confidence, your style. Being bald is liberating. Well, I agree with this because viewers encouraged me to do a full head shave. And I had been doing just a head shave on the top, and I left the fringe around the sides of my head and in the back. I would shave that down as close as possible with some electric clippers. And viewers really encouraged me to do the full head shave. And I did, and I've never looked back. It is very, very liberating. Now, they asked this question on their page: what did guys who shave their heads really need? Gillette Baldy is the first Gillette razor designed specifically for head shaving. We sat down with guys who shaved their heads and learned what they wanted and needed in a razor. We listened, we heard their concerns and their frustrations. They wanted a razor that didn't leave them with nicks and cuts or irritation. Guys struggled changing their grip during head shaving with traditionally skinny handles, and they didn't have time for a razor they needed to rinse again and again. So Gillette designed Baldy's ergonomic handle to be shorter and wider than our typical razor for better control and maneuverability. Now, I'll just link this page. You can read the rest of it. But in essence, what they did is they redesigned the handle and they allowed it to be compatible with the Skin Guard cartridge. So that's what the Baldy razor is. It's a new ergonomic handle with a Skin Guard cartridge. And that's what they use for, that's what they're saying you should use for your head shave. Now, I have used the Skin Guard cartridge razor for head shaves. I can't remember if I've done a video review or not. I'm going to have to look. But I have used it for a head shave. And yes, it's very good. It has 2 blades and some lubricating strips. And in a pinch, if you don't have time to use a safety razor, that's a good one. The Skin Guard is a good one. And as I've always said, I like to use cartridge razors for my head shaves, 3 or fewer blades. And Skin Guard falls right into that category with 2 blades. So yeah, I do like it. I think it's very good. The handle on the Baldy is very interesting. I'm wondering how that will really work out for a head shave with this Skin Guard cartridge, you know what? I'll keep you posted. See if I pick one up. We'll we'll find out, and maybe do a review of it, maybe discuss it, that sort of thing. So thanks very much to Skylar for passing along the information on Gillette Baldy, folks. I'll have the link below if you want to give it a look. Thanks again. Well, here's something that I received an email just before we went on air here with the Second Cup podcast. And this is why I created Second Cup, so I can get this information out to fellow wet shavers, viewers, and listeners before the event ends. This came from Bull Goose Shaving. Dear Mark, the end of SE September, Single Edge Razor Month, is rapidly approaching. Save 25% on all single edge razors through Friday, September 30th, when you use coupon code SE25 at checkout. Now that's capital S, capital E, 25, SE25, SE25. Use that at the checkout. If you're looking for a smooth and efficient shave, you cannot go wrong with either the Asylum RX or the Asylum Injector Razor. Take advantage of this deal before it is too late. Very happy to pass this deal on to you folks. They got two great single edge razors there. You get 25% off if you use the code SE25, capital S, capital E, 25 at checkout. So I will have that link below as well. My thanks to Bull Goose Shaving for sending along that email so so we can include it in the Second Cup broadcast. Thanks again. Viewer Bob LaRoe sent along a question along with a link. The question is something new, and the link leads to an Amazon product, a product on Amazon called Nick Fix. What is Nick Fix? This is an alternative to using a styptic pencil. It's a clear, transparent patch to stop the bleeding of a nick. And as they write here, stops bleeding, alternative to styptic pencil and silver nitrate sticks, non-toxic aftershave essential, no white barber pencil chalky residue. And they say it's moisturizing. It has natural ingredients in a discreet, transparent patch. Easy to use. Just stick it on a shaving nick. No need to wet or prepare. It's great for on-the-go travel, convenient pouch. It says here on-the-go travel, convenient pouch for on-the-go shaving nick relief. So all it is a small, clear, transparent patch, much like a little round Band-Aid, only it's small and clear, and you just place it over your nick. I don't know how long. I don't know what the entire process is. But I will link to it so you can investigate further. And it's an alternative to the styptic pencil. Now, I'm a big believer in the styptic pencil. I also have used the styptic roller from Goodline. You may have seen that. I purchased that at CVS. And I think that one is pretty good alternative to styptic pencil. But the styptic pencil still really is very, very good. And as I say, I nicked my earlobe when shaving for that wedding that I was attending. And the styptic pencil just stopped it like that. It was absolutely amazing. And then I went about my post-shave routine. So by the time I was putting on my shirt and tie, I was just able to just gently rub my earlobe with a little more aftershave and a little bit of a tissue, and it was gone and everything was nicely healed. And you didn't even know I nicked myself. So I like styptic pencils a lot. And I'm looking forward to trying the Barber Up green sticks. And again, I'll have a link to those. And I'll also have a link to this one, Nick Fix. So thanks to Bob LaRoe for passing it along. Really do appreciate it, Bob. Viewer Mark Bagwell checked in and he wrote, Mark, have you tried the PAA honeysuckle soap? Man, that smells awesome. And it left my brush lightly scented. Awesome scent. Mark, I have not tried honeysuckle, and I think honeysuckle was here and now it's gone. And I don't see it anywhere on their website. Folks, if you know where it is, send me a link, and I will definitely link it below in the description, but I can't find it. I've gone through all the soaps alphabetically, And instead of honeysuckle, I came across this one called Holiday, and that's spelled Hollida. And the description reads, "We all know Doc Holliday to be the perfect balance of Southern gent and gunslinging swagger, a true role model when it comes to being a badass, no? So with that in mind, I tried my best to reflect the spirit of the West in a refreshing, citrusy, earthy blend of pure essential oils and hydrosols. Lime, patchouli, mint equals epic, holding on to summer tight while moseying into fall." That is an absolutely fantastic way of describing this particular shave soap. Now, I'll link this one below if you're interested in it, because it's the first time I've come across it. I'm not sure if this is a new release or if this is something that has been out there before, but it looks like a great scent. As they write here, as Douglas Smythe writes here, moseying into fall. Wow, that one is very, very intriguing. Absolutely. And he writes here, "This is some classy soap with attitude." I like that. This also kind of reminds me of John Frum. As I say, I use that in my shave right before the wedding, and it just does have that outdoor feel, which was great because we were outdoors. Has that adventurous outdoor feel, but also has that gentlemanly quality to it, which really came in handy because I was, had a coat and tie on. Everyone was very well dressed, even though we were outside. So it was a natural setting. Everyone was nicely dressed. And I'm just saying John Frum was perfect. This Holiday sounds like it kind of falls, I get the impression it falls in the same kind of category as John Frum. It's probably got that outdoor, rugged kind of swagger, but maybe perhaps a nice, classy, gentlemanly quality to it. That's my guess. But anyhow, I'll link it below if you're interested in checking it out. I sure am intrigued by it. So that's Holiday. My apologies to Mark Bagwell. I missed honeysuckle. I'm hoping that it's available again sometime. And again, folks, if you know where the link is, please send it to me via mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will add it to the description below the podcast. Thanks again, Mark. Really do appreciate it. And this last little bit of information is related to the Monday Morning Mailbag. As you know, I wrap up each episode with a George comic strip. It's been a lot of fun putting the comic strip up there. And I just want to thank everybody out there in the viewing audience for allowing me to do it. And I hope you enjoy them. And if you do, please drop me a line or add a comment and let me know, because this is a great way for me to display my comic strip and kind of get it out there to an audience. As you may know, this past week was a rather rough one for comic strips and cartoonists. A company called Lee Enterprises, which owns a large chain of newspapers, gutted their comic section for all the newspapers in their chain. And a lot of cartoonists lost that newspaper comic real estate. It's been reported that Scott Adams, who draws Dilbert, lost 77 papers. And many other cartoonists lost those papers as well. King Feature Syndicate, who I used to be with, lost a lot of their comics on those pages. But as newspapers are disappearing, online services seem to be coming about, replacing that. And what you'll find are syndicates now offering subscription services where you can basically build your own comics page and read it online, which I think is really kind of neat. So if you're interested in doing anything like that, please let those syndicate services know about George and that you'd like to see George on your own online comics page. Please drop them a line. I sure would appreciate it. And also, drop me a comment from time to time and let me know what you think of my George comic strip. I would really be interested in hearing from you and hearing your thoughts on it. So I just wanted to Add that as we wrap up this week's Second Cup. Thanks very much. One more thing to add here. Viewer Paul DeJarn happened to write me Saturday night. Of course, I was at a wedding, and he said, put your sweater on, meaning my Ohio State Buckeye sweater. Buckeyes are up against Wisconsin. Well, as you know, Paul and everyone else, I was at a wedding, and luckily the bride, Brittany, is an alum of the Ohio State University. So you better believe she made sure there was a large screen television available for us to watch the game as part of the reception activity. So yeah, it was there. The big screen TV was turned on at the appropriate time, and we got to watch the game while we were on the dance floor and having dinner and everything else that was going on. So it was absolutely a great evening. So my thanks to the bride, Brittany, for making sure that big screen TV was there. A true Buckeye. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that Second Cup.